So we're gonna really try to get some Taylor Swift concert tickets. We didn't get it last time on Wednesday. Yeah, so hopefully we get to that. So there's many concepts I wanted to talk to everyone about. So yeah, I guess everyone's sort of sitting there looking to me, going, okay, I'm relying on Varun to make good decisions so that this place becomes better and better place to work at, right? So I could be anywhere in the world, but I'm going to come work here because I rely on you. Right? So I'm putting my best out there in every single way I can. Like, my entire existence is pretty much centered around this. So I've got 1,000 ideas, 1,000 things I can impart onto you guys so that you can try to apply it as well. And one of the things is like, okay, so repeating yourself in many different ways. So if you look at all the politicians out there, you know, that are currently campaigning in America or any other country, or if you look at very famous podcasters that are researchers or anything, right? If you look at Elon Musk, or if you look at anybody out there that's a researcher or a podcaster or a CEO of a company or whatever they go from podcast to podcast. And every single one is exactly the same. Like, it's mind-boggling. Like, try it for yourself. Someone that's very influential, very famous, not just, you know, has a proven record of getting good results in whatever they're doing. You've noticed that they just repeat themselves in every single podcast they go to. They just go to this one, they repeat themselves. The same thing, the same philosophies, the same ideas. And I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? Politicians are the same. They just keep repeating themselves. And I'm like, okay, there must be something behind this. Like, these people have proven themselves to get a result every single time, to get re-elected, to have companies that run very successfully. So what is going on there? Why are they repeating themselves? So I thought more into it, I looked more into it. What is going on? So if these people that are consistently getting good results for themselves are repeating themselves over and over again, but what are they repeating? So they're repeating themselves, but they're basing it on the different context. So they might be talking to railway drivers and saying, railway drivers, we need better work conditions for you. And if automation takes over, this is your plan B. Then they go talk to truck drivers and they say the same thing, which is, we need better conditions for you, but if artificial intelligence takes over, we need a backup plan for you. So they're saying the same thing, but they're applying it to that particular context. So, and then there's a very famous, you know, marketing guy, Gary Vee. You know, he's always on YouTube. A lot of people know him. He does the same thing. He's just repeating himself all day, all the time. And I'm just like, man, like, he talks for hours and he just repeats himself. So I'm like, okay, he's very famous, very successful. I'm like, there must be something behind this repeating yourself thing, right? So this is what I've got it down to. Repeat yourself. If you want to get something across, repeat yourself and base it on different contexts. So, you know, another example that pops to my head, a bit of a side example, was this Save Soil campaign. So he drove around the whole of the world in his bicycle with this campaign called Save Soil. And all he did for like a year and a half was talk about saving soil. So I'm like, how much can you talk about soil? Soil, make sure you treat it properly, make sure you let it regenerate after thing. How much can you talk about it? He just spoke about the same one thing for a year and a half using different contexts. In your weather it's cold, so this is how you save the soil. This is how you save the soil in hot weather. This is how you save the soil here. This is how we approach soil. This is how we do it, right? And the campaign changed the world. So what are we looking at? We repeat ourselves. If we've got something important or something that's fundamentally important, we repeat ourselves and we base it to that context, that situation, that person, that interviewer. So how does it apply to us? We know specifically what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to become an Uber-style, Airbnb-style centralized company that handles tradies here, clients here, and we merge them together to get a good result, right? So we just, every single client, every single person, every single thing, we just have to keep repeating ourselves until we get there. So our website has to repeat ourselves with different contexts. Our animations have to repeat ourselves. You guys on the phone have to repeat yourself. You guys repeat yourself with the subcontractors, you know? But now apply this concept to everything. Your kids, your life, your family, the way you eat, anything you want to change, talking to subcontractors, talking to clients, talking to whatever it is, right? So everyone sort of thinks, if I walk into this situation and I just say it once, and they just put this perfect line together, and like it's a mic drop moment. They're like, I'm going to say this, the room's going to go silent, and they're going to love me. You know what I mean? But it doesn't seem to work, no matter how great that evidence and line in your story is. You need to repeat yourself in many different scenarios, in many different questionnaires, with many different contexts. You know, so what we're going to do is our animation currently is branding that we are Holy Mess Repairs, and this is how we're going to do it, right? But we're going to make the same animation 50 different ways with the same idea, but different contexts, until people start. This video might work for this person, this method for this person, until some people start to grasp it. Right? So that's my idea of repeating yourself. So yeah, it is repeating yourself, but not necessarily. It's repeating yourself with a core concept, but in different contexts. So, you know, if you're talking to your kid about, you know, something you want to improve the way they do things, right? So you might say to them, well, you know, if you're going to be really whingy and whiny, then people are not going to want to play with you. And you're like, okay, well, that will work for sure. My kid wants to play with everyone, that will work. But not necessarily. You know, you might want to say, well, if you're whingy and whiny, then I'll be upset at you. If you're whingy and whiny, then, you know, you're not going to feel good about yourself. If you're whingy and whiny, you know, eventually when you grow up, you'll be whingy and whiny, you know. So you want to say the same thing in many, many different ways, you know, whatever you can think of, until it sort of sticks, you know. So core concept, many contexts. So let's try this in your roles, you know, whatever you guys are. There's a million variables of this. So if you're talking to subcontractors about getting compliance certificates, same thing, a million different ways to say it. You know? So sales with customers, you know, advertising, whatever it may be, same thing, many contexts. Yeah, cool. All right, I guess I got lots and lots of these kind of videos to make, and hopefully they're making a difference. Yeah, I'm really hoping, you know, we see a turnaround in the whole company, and yeah, I guess, you know, even when things do turn good, we've got to always be aware that things change, society changes, context changes, and we've got to keep changing our company to be fitting with the world as it changes.